first thing you need to do if you want people to really listen to your story is get their attention. One of the quickest ways to get their attention is to break the pattern that they are expecting. Do or say something that is unexpected. To break a pattern, you want to avoid telling your story in the same generic way all stories are told. If possible, think of a way to make your story stand out. One way to make your story stand out is to give your audience a mystery to try and solve. For example, imagine that a person in a battery-powered wheelchair comes up on stage and says, "The other day when I was skydiving, I had the most interesting thought." This mystery immediately raises all sorts of questions in the audience's mind. Another way to think about this is in terms of a question. The same person in the wheelchair may have said, "Would you believe me if I told you I went skydiving the other day?" Again, the audience members are going to be listening because the idea of a person in a wheelchair skydiving is pretty interesting. They will be curious and want to learn more about what happens. Speaking of curiosity, this is a great way to break a pattern and keep people's attention. Aren't you curious to learn more about the guy in the wheelchair who went skydiving? Surprising people is another way to get and keep people's attention. The video of Justin that you will watch in a couple minutes surprises people right away because the way he tells his story is completely unexpected. The video of John also has some unexpected elements. I think people will be really curious to know how John got a job at Target. Does the story you want to tell have an unexpected element that you can use to get and keep people's attention? After you watch Justin and John tell their stories, take a few minutes to fill out the worksheet for this chapter, and then we will get started with concreteness.
My name John Peter. I am in Arizona.
My name is John Britton, and I'm from Phoenix, Arizona.
Where one day I was in myself.
One day, I was in Mark Center,
And I asked them to help me find a job,
and I asked them to help me find a job.
but they said, okay,
But they said, okay,
keep on saying okay to me.
and they kept saying, okay to me.
I said, now you are fired.
And then they said, now you are fired for asking.
No,
No.
I'm fired.
Oh,
Then
so I fired them,
I told my friend,
and told my friend,
said, hey, will you help me find to do a
he said, hey, will you help me find
job
a job
at Target.
at Target?
Yeah, I said, go fill out some paper.
So I said, let's go fill out some paperwork.
With this,
With them,
and they called me.
and they called me.
They want me to come in.
They wanted me to come in
for an interview.
for an interview.
I just said, well, we're not free for you.
And then they said, we have nothing for you.
I said, hey, I'm ready with you.
And he said, hey, I will make a deal with you.
Give me 90 days.
Give me 90 days.
Oh, if you stop on me, I will walk out of here.
If you don't like me, I will walk out of here.
And they said, okay.
And they said, okay.
And am still at Target.
I am still at Target.
Tomorrow is my anniversary.
Tomorrow, Sunday, will be my 10th anniversary.
Hello, my name is Justin Troutman, also known as the very poetic JT. My life took an unexpected turn one gorgeous day in May of '99. It was one of the last days of my freshman year of high school. The year began like any other, and if my memory serves me correct, about Christmas time that year, I started the shortest friendship I would ever have. It was with my friend who would be driving the car in my wreck. His 13-year-old brother would be sitting directly behind me, with his seatbelt securely fastened. I know nobody was at fault. It was just a trio of teenagers wanting to have a little fun on our way home after school. It is very difficult remembering that day, as you would expect, so I will tell you as much as I can remember. We were on our way to my friend's house, quickly reaching a speed of 45. We had attempted to go through an intersection and run a stop sign at the same time. As we entered the intersection on Mount Olive Road and Highway 59 on the outskirts of a small town in the northwest part of the state. The next series of events are a blur to me, but my friend said he asked me if it was clear, and then I said it was. We were flying through the intersection when we were T-boned by a truck going 55. My side was hit, and the impact was so great that it sent our vehicle flipping 5 times, before finally ending upside down on a cement slab 15 feet away. My friend and the driver of the truck walked away only to suffer some cuts and bruises. It did, sad to say, lead to the death of his younger brother. I would say my friend had suffered much more than me. After using the jaws of life to get me free from the mangled car, I was flown by helicopter to Northwest Medical Center in Springdale, with a 10% chance of survival. Where I had suffered a traumatic brain injury, both of my lungs had been collapsed, and my spleen was ruptured. My pelvis was also broken. My right side was completely shattered. I was then transferred to Arkansas Children's Hospital in Little Rock. I would begin my physical therapy there, still in a comatose state. I don't have any recollection of my time being there. Health South in Fayetteville would be the next stop in my long road to recovery. While at Health South, I had my first taste of what speech therapy would be like. because the part of my brain that was damaged is the part that controls fine motor skills and speech. I was sent there with the assumption that I would never be waking up. The doctors at Children's Hospital thought that I wouldn't be anything more than a bedridden vegetable for the rest of my life. Sometime in September of that same year, during my time at Health South, one of the night shift nurses came into my room. I was awake watching TRL on MTV. It had to be a miracle. I was beginning to awake from my 3-month-long coma.